Hi, I'm Phil with Xcel-Tek. Wanted to take a quick minute to make a video showing our XP series duck blinds or deer blinds, however you choose to use them. We sell these assembled, and we sell them as a kit where you buy the hinges that allow the flyaways and the structure to operate. And I'll show you the features of these blinds as we go along. But what you see here is a stand and shoot blind on the back with a sit and shoot blind in front. It makes a pretty good combination if the ducks are coming in from one direction, and gives you pretty good camouflage. And you can camouflage it with the camo of your choice for whatever area you're going to be hunting. In this case, we chose to use raffia grass because it closely resembles the marsh grasses that we hunt. So one of the nice features of this XP series blind is not only do we have front and rear flyaway deployment, but we also have easy access for personnel entry or dog in and out. If your dog's not controllable, you can box him up in here with you, and you don't have to worry about him escaping. If you have a seasoned dog, you can create a little more gap, and the dog can create his own exit path, as well as it's real easy for you to get out and deal with your dog and the ducks as they're coming back. Here you see the XP series blind in more of a ground blind configuration. So this could be used for deer hunting. It's absent of the flyaways, which can be added if you want to go to duck hunting later. But this is a kind of a ground blind setup. We've chosen to use just the standard camouflaged canvas material, and most of these kind of materials are available at your local sportsman's outlet. It's real simple just to fold these on, zip tie them. You can push the zip ties through the material and back around the support structures of the wire mesh, and tie it up. Quickly does a blind, and then you can add your own brush to add some 3D dimension to it. And you still have the nice easy access in and out as you get ready to go on your hunt. The nice thing about the XP series blind is how easy it is to tear down and set up. So here you'll see that I can just walk it back and fold it up, and I have this blind ready to go. If I'm done with the season, I just carry it out with me and bring it back next year. The version of the Xcel-Tek XP series blind with the flyaways folds up just as easy as the ground blind structure, and it's pretty easy for one man just to come in, fold it up, and you're ready to leave with your blind for the year. If you've chosen to buy the hinge kit only and are going to build out the XP series blind by yourself, you don't have to use the exact same panel that we've purchased in order to build these. But what we recommend, of course, is this wire panel, and this is a 8" by 6" square dimension on these. It's real important when you build your flyaways to leave a gap of 1 square width between the ends of all of your flyaways. That way, if you add some dimension to the panels, you don't get corner binding. You have clearance so that everybody can throw their own flyaway without it binding up. So you do that at the end of every flyaway. In this case, we've chosen to leave the gaps on the center section and only have a gap on the outside, in one place on the outside section. What allows the XP series blind to to fold up and stow away and unfold so easy is the patented Xcel-Tek hinge assembly. We sell 3 versions of these hinge assemblies. One is a door hinge, one is a limiter hinge, which is the flyaway, and here I'm going to show you what we call the Z-fold hinge, which allows all of these panels to fold up easily back to back. So here's the hinge here, and you can see that it allows this panel, excuse the flyaway, to fold back on itself very easy. You can see that you can twist this Z-fold into position, and there's a clamp that goes here around this wire, and the offset allows the panel to close up. The hinge assembly comes with square holes in it, which allow for the carriage bolts that we use to tie these things together to be tightened with only one tool. So you don't have to worry about holding the head of the bolt. All you have to do is deal with the nut. I wanted to cover the panel sizes of the XP series portable blind from Xcel-Tek. This particular model I'm standing behind is the stand and shoot. We also offer the sit and shoot. I'll cover those dimensions in just a bit. But the stock dimension for the stand and shoot blind that we sell is 42 inches wide by 56 inches tall on the 2 end panels. All of the panels, there'll be 5 panels total, are going to be 42 inches wide. However, the 3 center panels are going to be 48 inches tall. So 56 inches tall, 48 inches tall for these 3, and the far one is 56 inches tall again. The reason for the height difference between them is obviously these have flyaways, but when you fold these up, the increased height of the end panels tends to retain the flyaways. So as you're hauling this blind in and out, you don't have the flyaways flopping on you. They're tied together with the 2 end frames holding the 3 flyaways in position. The flyaway dimensions for these, again, are 1 square pattern shorter on the 2 end ones. So this flyaway is going to be 36 inches wide by 16 inches tall. The center flyaway is also going to be 16 inches tall, but it's a little bit shorter at 30 inches wide. Again, 1 square shorter because we chose to put the gap on the ends of the center frame. I'm standing in front of the Xcel-Tek sit and shoot blind, which is similar to the stand and shoot blind that I just covered. However, due to the width of the squares, the standard Xcel-Tek varies a little bit. All of the 5 main panels are going to be 40 inches wide due to the 8-inch squares, and the height of the 2 end panels will be 50 inches tall. The 3 center panels are 42 inches wide and 42 inches tall. I'm sorry, the 3 center panels are 40 inches wide, just like the side panels, and 42 inches tall. The flyaways on this particular blind, the 2 end flyaways are 32 inches wide by 12 inches tall. The center flyaway is 40 inches wide by 12 inches tall. So that's the sizes for the sit and shoot blind. This is the Xcel-Tek limiter hinge, which serves to allow the flyaways to support themselves standing at the desired angle. The easiest way to install these on the XP series blind is to install one of them in the correct position and then simply twist that one into position. So that one's correct. Then we're going to twist this one into position. I'm going to lay it down so it's easy to handle. Always install the bolts from the hinge side. So this smaller piece is what we call the clamp. Install the bolts from the hinge side, and you screw that one on. Same thing here, and that allows your limiter hinge to work. These hinges, these limiters, are cut with a protrusion on the wire panel when you cut it, to where it allows it to bear against the hinge and support itself. You can see some of our other videos on our YouTube page that show this rather nicely. A preferred tool for assembling these Xcel-Tek hinges is a little cordless impact driver, and uses just a 7/16 socket, fits the nuts that we use, and you can simply secure that, and does a quick job and allows everything to be tight. The clamp piece comes with the holes offset to one side. You want to ensure that you install the clamp where the longer portion bears against the upper wire of the support piece. And that'll be true for all of the Xcel-Tek hinges, whether they're door hinges, Z-folds, or these limiter hinges. When you're assembling an XP series blind, it's important that when you get your wire panels cut to size, that you stagger the orientation of the wires every other panel. So in this case, the vertical wires are on top and the horizontal wires are on bottom. On this one, you'll see the vertical wires are on bottom and the horizontal wires are on top. When you install your hinges, you start from one end of the panel or the other, and always put the screw side either to one end or to the other end. But whatever you do, be sure it's consistent for every wire panel. Since this part of the hinge nests over the vertical wire, you'll see that the orientation of this hinge, the next hinge, will actually go on from the bottom on the opposing side of this panel. So it's a little tricky on the installation of these, but always keep your bolts to one end, and then when you set your first hinge, it's going to go on the vertical wire, whether it's top or bottom, and then the next one will go on the opposite side as you go along the wire panels. Here you'll see that the bolts are still to the same end, and the hinge assembly is installed opposite. So where the opposing one was installed from the top, this one is installed from the bottom. And as you go on, the next one will be installed from the top again, and then the final one will be installed from the bottom. Here again, you'll see that the bolts are all installed on this end. As we go, you'll see this hinge assembly is installed from the outside on this panel, and this one is installed on the inside on this particular panel. And that just reinforces that they stagger as you go, always with the bolts to one end, and the hinges will flip-flop depending on the wire panel that they attach to. When cutting your wire panels, if you choose to buy the hinge kit and build these XP series blinds yourself, there's preferred methods for cutting the panel to size. If you use bolt cutters, which can be done, it tends to leave these edges, which can cut you and your dog. They're sharp edges, so you need to deburr those well. The preferred method is if you have access to a bandsaw. You can pre-cut the edges with the bolt cutter and then come in just on your finished edge and saw the wires tight against the vertical wires here. And that works good. But if you don't have access to that, what works pretty nicely is a sawzall, and you can put that item in position, get your hand against the wire, press with your thumb, and that cuts rather smoothly. I'm also going to show you how we cut for the limiter hinge. You leave about a 3/8 projection. And so where these are cut finished for the edges of your panels, the areas where you're going to use a limiter hinge, you want to leave about a 3/8 projection. Use the same method and cut that off. And now you have a nice projection to bear against the hinge for the limiter design.